This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so let's get right back into this Diddy trial today. It's been a few hours, so there's enough to talk about. One of his assistants took the stand today, and Capricorn Clark, and she took a she started crying on the stand and everything. So let's get right into this now. Of course, 50 Cent was brought up today, and he already reacted about Diddy having a gun because he was scared of 50 Cent. Inner City Press recently did a update. Well, let's get into this. He's doing a great job, man. Go subscribe to him.
Been Capricorn Clark all day on the stand. On direct, she described a number of incidents, including being kidnapped with a gun in the car to Kid Cudi's house, where she called Cassie on the burner phone. She also described in great detail being accused of having stolen jewelry from Jacob the Jeweler. I think this was during a white party at the Hamptons. She had the jewels, and then she didn't have the jewels, and for 5 straight days she was taken to an empty office building on Broadway and given a lie detector test by a guy she said was as big as 2 linebackers. But
You gotta be kidding. Yo, Diddy's crazy, bro. He's insane.
She didn't know his name. The idea being that if she failed the test, she would be dumped in the East River. This was the quote. Now, when we broke for lunch, she had sort of broken down at the beginning of the cross-examination by Mark Agnifilo, the lead attorney for Sean Combs. He's usually a pretty kind of Columbo-like cross-examiner, but he got to her by saying, "You had a crush on him, didn't you?" And she said, I mean, she called him Chalk, as in chocolate, apparently. But she also said that he was he'd broken the glass ceiling and was quite an entrepreneur. So we'll see how she collects herself. The lunch break is longer than usual. The government has said that their case may be done in 5 weeks rather than 6. There was a sigh of relief among many of the journalists, but we're covering it. We're also covering. We came over here to 40 to cover some other cases.
Okay, shout out to Inner City Press. I'm definitely subscribed to him. All right, so we got the judge says, "I see you burned the midnight oil over the weekend." About the DNA questions, the judge says. Government says, well, investigator Jimenez's knowledge is extremely limited. Judge says, but didn't he ask the serologist if any DNA tests were done? Government says, but not the results. The government says, yes, there was a partial profile from the glass bottle in the car, but investigator Jimenez doesn't know what that means. And then the judge interrupts and says, you don't object to the report coming in? Only what Mr. Angolfino will ask? Government says, we do object to the report coming in. Then the Diddy's lawyer says, he got the results back. If the DNA came back with Sean Combs' DNA in this investigation, it would have gone a different direction. But it was consistent with a female contributor. Was it Cassie? Did they test Cassie? So it's not whether a result was accurate, only the impact. Judge, I'm going to overrule the objection, but I'll hear you at the sidebar after the redirect. The DNA issue misled the jury, the government says. Then Combs' lawyer says, we could prove this through the serologist. This is fair game for the witness. Judge says, for now, the objection is overruled. Judge says, what about the summary charts? When are they being offered? Government says sometime early next week, second to last witnesses before we rest our case. Bringing bank, so this will be over in 3 weeks from today, or around then, around that time. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that'll be the last week. The summary charts will save time, as they did in the ex-Senator Bob Mendez case. Judge, that leaves us with the objection to Dr. Hughes in the U.S. Is the U.S. going to respond? They said, yes, submit your response below. And they do respond. And the judge says, now as Mr. Muscotti's testimony, which seemed like an opinion, how was it admissible given the requirements of Rule 701? The government says, we'd like to look at cases submitted by defendant, then put in a letter. He says, okay, bring in the jury. Jury enters. Judge, welcome back. Call your witness. Government says, government calls Capricorn. Clark, where did you grow up? She says, I was born in San Francisco, moved to L.A., worked for Def Jam, then Death Row Records, a late 90s gangster rap label. Government, what was your relation to Suge Knight? Capricorn says, he is the father of my friend's child. Oh. Then you worked for Sean Combs. Yes. He is over there in the blue sweater. I work for him from 2004 to 2012. Were you kidnapped? Yes. Government says, when did you first meet Mr. Combs? Capricorn Clark says, when I moved to New York City in 2002, we were super platonic friends. A headhunter said I should work for him as a personal assistant. I did until 2006. Government, your duties. Capricorn Clark says, shadowed him from Wake Up. Then what? Head of the women's for Sean John. For how long? A year. Then global brand director of Sean Combs. Name and likeness due diligence to grow the brand. Then I was terminated until 2016 for Cassandra Ventura. Did you work for this building? Photo of Bad Boy Records office. Yes, we moved there in 2005. Your first day, where did Mr. Combs take you? Central Park, after dark, along with Uncle Paulie. He looked like a linebacker. Government, does this look like him? Nah, he doesn't have the blackout shades he wore all the time. What did Mr. Combs tell you in the park? He says that since I had worked for Suge Knight, if anything happened, he might have to kill me. Objection from the other side, obviously. Overrule, proceed. How did you take it? Seriously, it had gravitas. Government, how did you react? I said I didn't have anything to do with that stuff. Objection. Just sustained, Miss Steiner. What was Paulie's role? All aspects of Mr. Combs' movements to keep him safe. There was also D-Rock, Roger Bonds, and Ruben. Who's D-Rock? A good friend of Biggie Smalls, running back, body type. Government, did you observe Mr. Combs with a gun? Yes, in my home. Government, and did he talk about it? Mr. Combs told Chris Lighty he had a gun. He had a gun for problems with 50 Cent. Government, were you ever accused of stealing? Yes, jewelry. It had been given to me on a loan. It went missing? Yes. What did you do? From Teterboro, I called 1440 and told them to lock it down. What did Uncle Paulie do? He questioned me for 3 hours. Government, you went home? Yes, to Queens with Uncle Paulie. He searched my house. Government, where did Uncle Paulie take you? 1710 Broadway. It was dilapidated. It was being fixed up. But I didn't know that. Uncle Paulie took me to the 6th floor. The door was locked behind us. There was a 6-foot folding table and a heavy-set man. Can you describe him? 5 of me, 2 linebackers. He was chain smoking. Then did Uncle Paulie stay? No, he intermittently came back. What did the heavyset man say? I was there for a lie detector test. What did he say would happen? If you failed the lie detector test, they would throw me in the East River. What? Objection. Can we have a sidebar? All right, then it says, Judge, Miss Steiner, you can proceed. Government, what was his demeanor? Very serious. I was terrified. Did you want to take the test? No, I was afraid. How was the test? Wires were on you, and did they question you? And they questioned me. Did I steal? Government, did he tell you the results? He said to calm down, that he couldn't get a good reading, and he might have to throw me in the East River. Government, anyone else in the building? Not to my knowledge. Government, could you leave? No. Paulie said no. Government, what did Paulie say in the end? That he'd come back the next day to figure this out. We started again, another lie detector test at the same location all day. Were you free to leave? No. How long did this go on? 5 days? Government, did you tell anyone where you were? No, I was just trying to survive it. I worked under an NDA. Combs says, objection. Judge says, sustained. Jury should disregard the last answer. What would you have been doing? Shadowing Mr. Combs. What happened after 5 days? That I could return to work, that Mr. Combs would see me the next week. Did Mr. Combs ever discuss it with you? No. Why did you continue to work, Mr. Combs? I left. If I left, they think I stole. Government says, what were your days like? From his townhouse at 74th Street in Park in the morning to Daddy's house, studio at night. How much sleep did you get? On a good day, 4 hours. On a bad day, I got a stress condition. I was paid like $55,000. You know what? This is definitely not worth it. Did you get paid overtime? Nah, I spoke to the head of HR. She said I was owed $80,000. How did Mr. Combs respond? He ripped up the paper. Oh yeah, it's real fun working for someone that's successful like Diddy. Are you kidding me? Guys, it's not always worth working for these types of people. Did you get paid overtime? Nah, I spoke to... Okay, so you got that. Would Mr. Combs stay at hotels? Yes. With whom? Kim Porter once a week. What names would he book the room under? Frank Black, Frank White. And the girlfriends? Jackie Starr. Where did he stay? Intercontinental Buckhead in Atlanta. Beverly Hills Hotel in L.A. What were in his bags? He would like a camera, small bottles of baby oil, lube, cameras every time. What would you what you would be doing at that time? Watching TV, ordering room service, keeping up on sleep. Afterward, I'd sweep the room if anything left behind. Any damage? Baby oil. So there was oil everywhere. How frequently would Mr. Combs stay in the hotel with Cassandra Ventura in 2008? Like once a week? Elma Heritage, the London Intercontinental for 7 days. IV drips. Government, did he speak with you about the relationship with Cassie? Yes, Miss London was there. Chef Jordan in the other room. He called Cassie over and asked her to walk there. Hand me that. Go back in the other room. And wait, hand me that. Go back in the other room. And she did that. What did he say? What did he say? He says, You biatches won't do that. That's why you don't have a man. Government. What did you say? I says, your mother, you're right. Government says, did you observe Mr. Combs obtain drugs? A girlfriend in New York and L.A., one stop, Molly, ecstasy, delivery to Puff or to me. Did he ask you to get drugs for him? Yes, ecstasy. And in south of France? He asked me to get coke. I said, for who? He says, and the government said, why? I wasn't going to do it, given how my mother died. Diddy said, objection, sidebar. Sidebar goes on. Back. Who did Mr. Combs say the drugs were for? He said, not me. Government says, did you get them? Yes. Through the Spanish security guard. He also got prescription drugs in my name. They were in toiletry bags I'd carry, or security. What about bulk cash? Yes, 100,000 euros coming from Europe. Where did he get it? Club bookings in Europe. He'd keep it, then give it to security, then into his bedroom personal safe. Violence? Fighting. Was Mr. Combs violent with you? Yes. At Star Island. He told me you are not to leave this house. Pharrell Williams was brought in by boat. I returned Mr. Walker to Palm Island. He called and said, where the F are you? You can't have a life. One time I asked the chef if there was like turkey bacon. She says, no turkey bacon. I said, I hate it here. The chef told Mr. Combs, and he punished me again and again. What'd he say? He says, if you hate it here, get out. Did you leave your employment? I did. But you returned. As global brand director. Why? He was impressed by what I did in the job I'd left before. A couple of albums. He says, you wouldn't have to work directly for me. What were you doing for Miss Ventura? Managing her image, minimized the optics for her, for Sean Combs. He had final approval on everything. Government. In L.A., where did you live? A gated community. We had followed Kim Porter there. Where was Miss Ventura? In New York City on West End. She would come to L.A. to stay with him or with me in a hotel. Who else was Miss Ventura seeing? Scott Muscuddy, Kid Cudi. How do you learn that? She brought him into my apartment. Government. What did she say? She texted me that they were going to be going to this public place in L.A. I told her that's a bad idea and to delete the text. Why? If Mr. Combs learned about Mr. Muscuddy, I mean, Mr. Combs paid for the phone of hers. For my phone and hers. I took Cassie to Best Buy to get her a burner phone. When did Mr. Combs return to town? Not long after. He took Cassie to a hotel, the Caprini, and then December 22nd, 2011, between 5:30 and 6 a.m., there was a banging at my door. What did you see through the peephole? A furious Puffy. They say objection. Ask another question, Miss Steiner. What about the movement? Pacing with something in his hand. Did you open the door? I did. What was he wearing? Button-down sweater, torn pants, and he was holding a gun. He came into my apartment and says, why didn't you tell me? Who is Scott? I said, I don't know any Scott. He said, what did he say? He says, we're going to kill this person. Where was the gun? In his hand. I said, I didn't want to go. He says, I don't give a F what you want. Get dressed. Government says, what concerns did you have? He'd never come to my house. Did you try to escape? No, I got dressed. Who joined in? Ruben in the black Escalade, executive class. Where was Ruben? Driver's seat. I got in the back seat, right hand side. Mr. Combs was in the left. Next to me, usually he would have sat in front. Gun was in his lap. How long does it take to drive from your home to Kid Cudi's house in Woodland Hills? If you push it 15 to 20 minutes, government. What did Mr. Combs and Rube do at Cudi's house? They went in. Could you see? Yes. Oh, man. Yeah, Diddy, you're cooked, bro. Because as much as you can cover up with your lawyers, the jury is going to be like, well, he's crazy, We drove off and saw the police driving the other way toward Cudi's. Puff was pulling himself together. We stopped at Key Club, and he told me to call Cassie. What did he tell you to tell Cassie? That he had me and wouldn't let me go. How did Miss Ventura respond? Clark said, she said, okay, come get me. She was calm. Government says, who drove you to home? Ruben. Government. What did Mr. Combs then tell you? To convince Cudi not to say that it had been him in Cassie's house. Oh, to convince Cudi not to say that it had been him at his house. I picked up Cassie. Where did you go? We went to Cudi's and tried to convince him not to file a police report. Government, what did you tell them? That Puff came to my house with a gun. What did you tell them? He said, if you tell on him, he'll hurt us all. Government says, what was Mr. Muscuddy's reaction? Mind blown. Combs, objection. Jury will disregard. I don't know. I would let that in. What happened at the house? He was kicking Cassie again and again. How was Cassie? In the fetal position. Mr. Combs kicked her all the way to the street. She was crying silently. Government. Where was he kicking her? In her back, in her backside. Where were you? 5 feet away. So was Rube. What did Mr. Combs say to you? He says, if you jump in, I'm going to F you up too. What did Rube do? Nothing. Who did you call? D-Rock. I told him. Tell your brother to stop, Puff. He is kicking the ish out of her. Jeez. I called Polly too. I said he'd take care of it, but Rube did nothing. What next? Mr. Combs said to get the F out too. I left on foot. Could you still see her getting kicked? I went around the bend. Then who'd you call? Regina Ventura. I told her he's kicking the ish out of your daughter. I can't call the police, but you can. Why didn't you call the police? The mission of the day was to get Cuddy, not calling police. So you were just as bad. Who's this email from? Cassie. She wrote that he would be releasing sex tapes about me and he could have someone else hurt me and Kid Cudi. Do you recall if you responded to this? I don't. Did law enforcement call you? The arson investigators, Cudi had given them by name. I hung up on them. I just wanted this to be over. What did Mr. Combs say to you? He says, I should kill you girls because I should cut her in the face. How many times did Mr. Combs threaten you? I'd say about 50 times. D-Rock was there. I just doubled down on whatever Puff was saying at the moment. Who is Harv Pierre, the president of Bad Boy Records? I told him Puff had kidnapped me. What did Harv Pierre tell you? He says, that's crazy, but it's going to be okay. I got a termination notice. I was accused of not properly putting in for the vacation time I was on. Had you put it in? Yes, to Harv Pierre. Did you lose benefits? All of them. 401k, my house, my car. What did Mr. Combs say? That I would never work again. That he would want to make me take my own life. Did you get a job offer? I did. It fell through. I couldn't get a job. Did you settle with Mr. Combs? In October 2012 for blank. Objection. Can I approach? They do a sidebar. Blah, 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 blah. They're back. Aside from the settlement agreement, do you have any other pending litigation with Mr. Combs? No. Did you go back to work for him? 2016, no one else hired me. Cassie had a new record deal with Epic. Who did you get your approvals from? Sean Combs. Cassie was taking more drugs. Was she still dating Mr. Combs? Yes. In December 2023, why do you retain an attorney? I was traumatized by Cassie's civil complaint. Her complaint did not reference me. I reached out to Mr. Combs and said, I want my life back. You kidnapped me. Objection overruled. Was there a discussion of you working for Mr. Combs again? Yes, as chief of staff. When did you last speak with Miss Ventura? 2018. And Mr. Muscuddy, 2012. No further questions. Break. Combs, Angolfino, can I start? We'll start. Well, we're taking a break. Now break. Back. Miss Clark, you're under oath. All right, so they go in. Combs lawyer, redirect. We met in April 2024. You had a lawyer, Brian Friedman. Yes. Combs lawyer. You wanted to come back to work for Mr. Combs, right? We discussed it, yes. You saw Mr. Gragos taking notes. Yes. You says you didn't think Cassie was good for Mr. Combs. Why? I just thought they were toxic for each other. Tell me about when you were in New York. I was in the Bronx. I hated it. It was 2002. I met Jeanette when Mr. Combs in 2001 in World Trade Center thing. Then I met Mr. Combs. He wasn't doing drugs, right? He did ecstasy at Daddy's house, but it got worse. Yes. So they asked, did it get worse? Yes. Combs says, you authorized Mr. Friedman to seek a job for you? Clark says, yeah, it was very procedural, lawyer to lawyer. Combs' lawyer. But you were told you couldn't be given a job in the middle of an investigation. Yeah, I don't remember that, she says. Combs and Gofino, read this and let me know when you're done. Do you remember saying you had the biggest crush on him? Objection. 403 from the government. Judge, Mr. Angolfino, state of mind. Government says, it's being offered for the truth. Combs' lawyer says, we had a stip on this? Sidebar. They're back. Diddy's lawyer, did you call him chocolate? And she says, I did. They says, you started Def Jam. You started with Def Jam, Run DMC. I don't go back that far, she said, but I'm more like Foxy, Redman, Jay-Z. And Gofino, how did you come to work for Mr. Combs? I put my resume on Monster after the World Trade Center thing. He says, you'd work for me? I was like, maybe. He was acting on Broadway in Raisin in the Sun. I was impressed. Diddy's lawyer says, he had a major part? He was a star. Capricorn Clark says, then I shadowed him for Vote or Die campaign. My job was to get the t-shirts done on this and get the t-shirts on celebrities and into photo shoots. I'd call them and say, Puff wanted them to come. And they came? Yes, they did. Then Diddy's lawyer says, how long before the jewelry missing thing? It was about 4 months. On the 4th of July, he threw a white party at his home in the Hamptons that year with a Vote or Die. Diddy's lawyer, when did the jewels go missing? After July 4th. The jewels were still on loan from Jacob the jeweler. Who else got a lie detector? His stylist, Mike B, his stylist. He had gone to street level of 1440 for manicures. The lie detector test was the next day. You ever told HR? No. I got fired for 3 weeks. Diddy's lawyer says, how did you get unfired? I went to his 35th birthday at Capri to do the celebrity list. I came back. 2004 to 2006? Capricorn says, not at all. As a personal assistant? As a liaison. I was making $65,000 for Combs and then $90 at Jive. $90 or $90K? Why'd you come back for Mr. Combs? I'd gotten top records for R. Kelly. Mr. Combs said he was impressed. Asked me to come back to work for Sean John for women. I think I was really good employee for him. Combs' lawyer. He told you were awesome. Did not use that word. You worked for him? I did. Others worked hard too, right? Capricorn says, not as hard as me. Then they say, I did learn a lot from Mr. Combs, almost crying. He broke the glass ceiling for us black people in the business world. She looked kind of, am I wrong? Like her drawing looks white. Do you need a minute? Nah, it's just complicated. Judge, we'll take a break. With the jury and witness out, judge says, on DNA questions, Inspector Jimenez, the government objection is overruled. We asked for a little bit longer. We have not been able to eat lunch. We are running ahead of schedule. Our case may be closer to 5 weeks than 6 weeks. They are proposed to use communication between Miss Clark and Miss Ventura. We don't see any non-hearsay purpose. Combs' lawyer says there are logistics and photo shoots being discussed. She has testified on this on direct. The direct went more negative than we expected. Combs' lawyer says there's theory that Miss Ventura was not permitted to be creative. Judge, in the future, in what you submit overnight. That's in the docket. All right, so we'll get back to this in about an hour. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 2 to 3 hours, because it has to be a full day. And a full day will be at 2 more hours. They'll finish the cross. Pretty crazy. Diddy's a crazy person. and they're displaying that. And we'll see where this goes. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Peace.